How would you like to turn a $2 blank into a $12 branded gift and have local businesses thanking you for taking their money?
Today we're going to show you how to build small batch branded items that sell fast, look high end, and build repeat business.
Do it, build it, make it. If you think it, we create it. Do it, build it, make it. With Cam and Garrett, make it.
What is up? Welcome back. Do you like to make money?
So do we.
And every week we show you how to make more, waste less, and turn those small ideas into big profits.
And this week we're diving into the world of business to business, or B2B, with our brand kit. Because when you hand a business a brand kit with their logo on everything, you're not just selling products, you're selling possibilities. Right now, small businesses are scrambling for custom gifts. Things like client thank yous, staff appreciation, giveaways, you name it.
And they don't want to order 1,000 tumblers from China between the tariffs, the lead time, who knows what. They want 20 awesome tumblers from a local maker who's just down the street, who gets it.
And that's what we're doing this week, showing you how to make custom branded gifts on everything from wood, tumblers, acrylic, even some challenge coins.
These challenge coins came out really cool. This whole thing started like 3 years ago. The wife of the man who runs a local charity, Faces of Heroes, pretty cool charity. She emails us and said, hey, I saw you guys at a local craft show. I really like your style. Can you 3D-ify my husband's logo and make it all 3D like you guys do your signs?
And I really want to give it to him for Christmas.
So I was like, oh yeah, charity stuff always tugs at my heart. So I was like, yeah, I'll totally do it. We came up with this cool 3D 18-inch version of his little logo. And he was super stoked on it. But then a couple of weeks ago, he comes into our shop now. And he's like, hey, I was on TV with your sign. I was on the news. And I dropped the sign. I chipped the corner. Can you guys fix it? And I was like, oh yeah, we could totally fix it. And I'll make you a new one. This thing's like 3 years old. It needs a nice shiny recovery.
Yeah, let's do a little makeover. He's like, I think I could tweak it.
Tweak it.
And he was like, great. But what else can you guys do? Because he's looking around. He's looking around in our little studio area.
He's seeing the tumblers. He's seeing the other mini signs.
And that is the question that changes everything. Pretty much every maker is eventually going to get this question. And if you've got a UV printer, that's your golden ticket to say, I can pretty much make anything.
So we built them a brand and hand kit, 6 products, all customized with their logo, all made in-house.
Step 1, we're going to design everything around a single logo or image. In this case, we're using Brad's logo that Garrett created 3 years ago, and it's great because it's already in SVG format so that we can export it for the print and cuts, and we can use it as our print file.
Let's walk through what we made. We started with our door hangers. Those are our signature. This is what we started with. This is what we're known for. We did an 18-inch, a 14-inch, and an 8-inch version of the logo. We put them all on MDF. The bigger one is on 1/4-inch MDF. The smaller one is on 1/8-inch MDF. We just put them inside the logo jet to do a print and cut. We used the logo jet to do the print. Then we took them over to the Eon Nova 14 and we did the print and cut feature inside Lightburn to cut out all the pieces.
Now, typically you are not going to put a door hanger in your brand kit. In this case, these are an actual order. He came back in and ordered more products. But what we will hand him is not only his door hangers, but the rest of his brand kit so that he can really see those items he saw around the shop with his branded logo on them.
First up, stickers. I love stickers and I've been waiting to do these. I wanted to make stickers for a while now. And I love stickers because they're fast, affordable, and they're great for giveaways. I know I love a sticker.
Now, you wouldn't think that you might be able to do stickers on a flatbed UV printer, but you can. You're going to use sheets of AB film. We're going to lay our A film down. We're going to peel off the top cover sheet, exposing the sticky layer. We're going to print directly on top of that sticky layer. Once that's done, we take it over to the laminator, run it through the laminator where the B film is applied, and that's what you have here. You have your B film on top, you have your printed ink, and then your adhesive on the back. When you peel this sticker, the only thing that's going to peel up is the ink part with the adhesive on the back. The other adhesive that is around the outside actually stays on the A or B film. It just stays on there. You're only going to peel up and have adhesive on the area that's printed.
Now these are pretty permanent. I would call them transfers less than stickers.
Yes, they're not a paper sticker. They are definitely a transfer. They are UV resistant, weather resistant. They can run through the dishwasher. They're going to be great for applying to vehicles, windows, mirrors, lots of different things, including tumblers.
Pro tip, don't touch the A-film. It's like flypaper and it will make a mess and get sticky everywhere.
For a sheet of these stickers, with 11.75 by 17, we can get, for these are, what did I say, 3 1/4. So they're 12, I can get 12 of these out of the sheet of AB film that we have. And that will cost us about $2.81 for 12 of them.
So then wholesale is about $2 a piece, which puts retail about $4 to $5 a piece. But again, these are decals, not really stickers.
Huge profits.
Next up, tumblers. Tumblers are another super easy, super fast, and very sellable. Everybody loves a tumbler.
Now with the Logo Jet, you can do tumblers in a couple of different ways. You can use a tumbler attachment. We don't have the tumbler attachment, but the alternative is you can use your UV transfer and apply that directly to your tumbler. Because it is UV resistant, it's weather resistant, so it'll go through the dishwasher. It's going to be great on this tumbler, and you can see it looks beautiful.
Again, these are another easy win. The cost in total for this guy right here is like $7.18. You can wholesale them per piece for like $10, and then they can sell them easily for $15 to $20.
Right, it really depends on the cost of your tumbler here, because this is a pretty basic tumbler. You know you can get the bigger tumblers with the handles, but like I said, we can do a full sheet of 12 transfers for $2.81. So this is pennies. The real cost here is the
real
tumbler.
cost is the tumbler. And you know, if you order in bulk, you can probably get the cost down on your tumblers. For the rest of these items, we did something a little bit different. We're gonna talk print and cut versus cut then print. Now this is near and dear to my heart.
Before we get into all of that though, I just want to give a quick shout out to Logo Jet, who make these vibrant UV printers that work on just about anything. If you're ready to start offering small batch, branded gifts, or set up your product line, check out the Logo Jet link below. It helps support our channel and keeps our workshops running.
Now a print and cut is something that we use all the time. This is how we did our door signs here, right? This is where you print the entire image on your material, including some registration marks. You're gonna use those registration marks in your laser to line up your cut file. You can use the print feature inside Lightburn. You line up your cut file and you cut all of the pieces that you just printed. The other way is to do a cut then print, but to do that, we're gonna use some jigs. This way I can maximize the material that I cut and still get a perfect alignment on my print without having to line up any registration marks. I simply just slide my little pieces into the jig, and I have a special image that I set up that I use to print across the jig.
Now this is important when you're doing an item, maybe like the challenge coin. We're going to talk about that in a moment.
Something that needs to be dead center.
Yeah, well, or even edge to edge. And you need to have it from left starting point to right ending point. It's got to be perfect on that from edge to edge. You're going to need to use a jig for something like that.
Next up, hats and hat patches. These are another great seller. We said it before, you could probably set up a whole craft booth doing hat patches right there, like a hat bar. Kim really wants to do a hat bar.
I do.
I love a hat. You love a hat. I mean, who really doesn't love a hat?
And this is a great branded item to give as a thank you, to give as a promotional item. There's just lots of ways that you can use a branded hat.
Throw them into the crowd. This hat, again, was really easy to do. We printed on the Lone Star leatherette, which already had the adhesive on the back. So we did our cut. We cut our material first. Then we slid it into the jig. We lined up our image, which was really just 0, in the software. And then we printed on the hat patch. We then took the hat patch over, placed it on our hat, and then like 45 seconds inside the Lone Star
branding iron.
Inside that Lone Star branding iron, 45 seconds later, I got myself a hat. But the hat in total cost $6.62 for everything, because the patch is pretty much pennies. Again, the real cost is in the hat. And then you can sell these hats wholesale for $10, and then they can retail them on the other side between $15 and $20. I've seen hats go $25.
Again, it really depends on your hat. You know, there's different style hats. You can get a $5 hat. You can get a $15 hat. You're just going to add the pennies of your patch plus the pennies of your printing, and you have yourself a branded item.
Next up, another popular item. I know it's popular for us, magnets. These could be a fridge magnet. They could be a workshop magnet, you know, something you can throw on your toolbox here.
Cubicles, you can hang these in your cubicles. You can put magnets anywhere, you know.
You know, we always grab a magnet anytime we travel. Our fridge is filled with magnets. I know your fridge probably has a couple of them on there too. This is easy. Again, for these, I wanted to maximize my material. So we did use a jig, even though this one is out of MDF. You can do them out of acrylic too.
Yes.
But once I have my jig, I mean, the material really doesn't matter. I just cut out my material, throw it in the jig. We printed this, again, side to side. We covered the entire piece of MDF, had a little bit of bleed on the image just to make sure we got complete coverage. Then we had some circle magnet pieces that we already had the adhesive on them. We peeled off the adhesive, stuck it on the back. Boom, we got a magnet. Now this magnet in total is $2.27. I think the bulk of that cost came in on a little magnet piece here.
Yeah.
We can wholesale these for $3 to $3.50, and they're easy sellers for $5 to $10. I mean, if you want to give them away as promotional items, again, you can just throw these out in the crowd.
Well, we're going to talk texture next, but these can go anywhere. Like he said, 5 to 10. So this is just a simple flat print. But if you added some raised texture or the braille texture on this item, you can charge even more because now it's really got some dimension to it. So we have a really cool magnet from France that has different elevations of a city. So you can really add some extra visual effect to it and charge a little bit more.
Yeah, we paid like $20 for that magnet, only because it was so dimensional. So if you can add some dimension to it, it adds to the price. Finally, the piece de resistance, our challenge coins. Now he challenged us to make the coin. He's like, can you make a coin? And he handed me this guy. And I said right there on the spot, yes, I can.
He was waiting for this one.
I was waiting. So this one is super cool. Well, I will catch you up on the cost real quick. So this total coin, right, it looks just like an enamel coin. In my eyes, looks just like an enamel coin. This one costs in total to make $8.88. We can wholesale them for like $13.50, $14 a piece. And he could sell them on the other end from $18 to like, I've seen them for $36.
Yeah.
So there's a healthy profit margin built into these. And these are way easier to do than you would think they are.
This is the part that Garrett got really excited about.
Super excited about.
Yeah, if you've seen our stories or social media lately, he was already posting about them. He couldn't wait.
Like I jumped right to making the coin. Everything else kind of went by the wayside until I was done with the coin. But the coin was super easy. I came up with the design, but Kim really pulled it off on the printer. And she said it was just a couple of clicks.
Right, you're just using your gray gradation on the logo jet. It's simply a setting. I just chose that as the setting, but it automatically created the raised texture. I didn't have to do anything special. I didn't have to set up special ink channels in image editing software. I didn't have to do any of that.
I didn't have to create any spot channels or anything like that. We just loaded a simple PNG, and then within a couple of clicks and clacks, Kim was able to come back with something that looked like this. And I was like, ooh, that is great, but it's a little dull. What can you do for me? So she put it back on the same jig. She just took the coin, and because we're using a jig, she threw it back on the jig and then splashed it with some varnish.
Well, we applied the clear gloss technique, which is a layer of clear gloss, a second layer of clear gloss that doesn't have any UV light on it, so it doesn't dry it right away. You want it to pool and puddle a little. You come back with a third run, and then it hardens the clear gloss and puts that protective layer over it, almost like an enamel coin.
I mean,
And it gives it
Genius.
that shiny look. Now,
Genius.
this wouldn't be possible without the jig, because you can see we did this from edge to edge. Now, some of these others you can print and then cut. In this case, I can't cut this.
Yeah, there's
I'm
no
not
cutting the coin.
Right, so I have to use a jig, so I have it, so I know exactly where to print on my logo jet bed.
I think I flip-flopped a little bit. I don't know if I like the print and cut better or the cut then print.
Well, it really depends on what you're doing. So for something like this, you're definitely going to want to do a print and then cut. That's going to be the easiest. I don't want to have to print on all these little pieces. But in something like this, if you have an object that isn't going to be cut later, so let's say a box top, or maybe
Some of those notebooks.
yeah, the notebooks, the agendas, or these coins, anything that needs, it's already a physical object that you want to print on, you're going to use a jig. You can either cut out a jig like we did with this, or you can print a frame, a jig layout on your bed, so that, you know, for something like the agendas or the notebooks, I can lay them just one right after the other in some squares on the bed, because I'm really just trying to print right in the middle of it. But for
something like the coin where it needed to have perfect placement, the physical jig that I'd slide the coins into was definitely important. There's no way I could have lined it up on a circle that was printed on the bed.
One last little tidbit information about the coins. You can use different adhesion promoters. We did apply a metal adhesion promoter onto the coin before we printed on it, so that the ink will adhere and stay there. Cleaned it with a little alcohol, applied the adhesion promoter, which is just a swipe of a liquid, let it dry, and then I printed right on it. You'll do that with acrylic as well, but it's a different promoter, and they both came with the logo jet.
And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, it's just that UV ink on top. It's easily going to chip and scratch off. Au contraire, mon frère. I tried to scrape off our mistake, and I was there for like probably a half an hour with the scraper, and I really had to dig in to get the ink off.
Well, did you even get it off? You couldn't reuse the coin.
Not all of it off. No, I couldn't reuse the coin. I really tried, because I really wanted to try to save it, but it really wouldn't come all the way off. So it's there, and it's pretty permanent.
And of course, we always say it, presentation sells. We've put some of our shreds in a box here. We've added all of our items to the box, so when he opens it, he sees his logo on multiple items immediately. And it's something exciting to dig through and take a look at all the different promotional items in the box.
Yeah, it's like a prize pack.
Yes.
Got myself a prize pack. If you're stuck waiting for the perfect time to start your business, this is it. There's no better season than reach out to local businesses and start printing profits. If this was helpful, give us a like, leave us a comment, and subscribe so you can catch up on more crafts that sell. Well, I'm about out of time. I gotta go surprise Brad with his prize pack. You gotta go print your own money, and we will see you next week. We'll do it, build it, and make some money. And a big thanks to the Make It Mafia. We love you guys, and that is the best way to support this channel. You can catch extra content, free SVGs. There's just a whole lot going on over there.
No,
What?
I refuse to let you. They're products that are sold.
I'll just do the 14-incher.
No.
No?
Bye.
Bye.